Have you ever stopped to wonder how something as tough and uninviting as a raw chestnut can transform into one of the most expensive gourmet creams on the market? It seems almost impossible that a fruit known for its firm shell and stubborn texture could become a smooth, luxurious paste used in high-end desserts and premium culinary creations. Yet behind every jar of chestnut cream, there is an entire hidden universe of craftsmanship, precision, and technique that most people never get to see. Today we are stepping into that world, peeling back the layers to reveal the extraordinary journey from hard fruit to high-value gourmet ingredient, a transformation that defines the very essence of luxury food production. What you are about to uncover blends industrial mastery with gastronomic obsession, and it all starts long before the cream reaches your spoon. Imagine standing at the entrance of a factory where every step, every sound, and every aroma is part of a finely tuned process. Workers move with purpose, machines hum with surgical precision, and each chestnut is treated not as a simple ingredient, but as a potential masterpiece. In the realm of gourmet foods, nothing is random. Every detail becomes a strategic decision meant to elevate texture, aroma, and flavor to the highest standards of premium gastronomy. And as we explore these behind-the-scenes secrets, you will begin to understand why these products carry such extraordinary value. The world of gourmet production was built on a simple yet powerful idea. Ordinary or even rare ingredients can gain immense worth when crafted with intention, patience, and advanced techniques. This is where the magic of transformation truly begins. What seems ordinary at first glance becomes the foundation for an experience that consumers gladly pay more for, not just because of the taste, but because of the story baked into every batch. You already sense that there is much more happening here than the eye can see, and the next steps might surprise you with how delicate and demanding this process really is. Before we go deeper, tell me, have you ever tasted a chestnut cream so smooth that it felt almost unreal? Share your thoughts in the comments and let me know if you already knew how complex this transformation could be. And while you are here, make sure to like the video and check if you are subscribed so you do not miss the rest of this deep dive. What comes next will open your eyes even more, revealing layers of this process that most people never imagine, guiding you naturally into the next phase of this journey. As we move deeper into the heart of this transformation, the journey truly begins with the selection of the ingredients themselves. The factory floor becomes a kind of stage where each chestnut is examined with almost obsessive attention. Because in the gourmet world, excellence starts long before any machine is turned on. Workers trained specifically for premium ingredient evaluation handle every batch with a blend of intuition and technical discipline. They know that the slightest inconsistency in size, color, weight, or density can dramatically influence the final texture of the cream. This first layer of scrutiny sets the tone for everything that follows, shaping the sensory profile that the product must achieve to be considered worthy of the luxury market. There is a rhythm to this selection process, a steady movement that feels almost ritualistic. Chestnuts arrive in their raw, imperfect form, carrying the marks of nature. Some are rejected immediately for flaws that would never survive the refinement process. Others are set aside for special batches where their unique characteristics may enhance a limited edition product. Every decision is intentional, driven by the understanding that premium creams do not begin with abundance but with elimination. What remains is the elite fraction of ingredients capable of delivering the silky consistency and rich flavor demanded by gourmet consumers. Once selected, the chestnuts go through a triage stage that blends traditional food handling principles with modern innovation. High-precision scanners detect internal defects invisible to the human eye, ensuring that only structurally sound fruits move forward. The air in the facility carries a distinct earthy aroma as the chestnuts pass through washing tunnels and soft brushing systems designed to preserve the integrity of their natural oils. These early steps might seem simple from the outside, but they are essential to safeguarding the delicate balance of flavors that make a chestnut cream truly stand out in high-end gastronomy. As the last of the chosen chestnuts roll toward the preparation zone, the process shifts once again, now moving closer to the point where the raw fruit begins to surrender its firmness. This is where the transformation will soon accelerate, allowing us to follow the next sequence of controlled techniques that gradually unlock the smoothness hidden inside each chestnut. And with this transition, you can already sense how every detail has a purpose, guiding the ingredient forward with precision toward a more refined form. As the selected chestnuts enter the initial preparation phase, the transformation becomes more tangible. The once firm and resistant fruits begin to soften as they encounter controlled heat and steam systems designed specifically to coax out their inner tenderness without compromising their natural flavor. Inside the preparation room, the atmosphere shifts. The air grows warmer, carrying a subtle sweetness released slowly as the chestnuts start to react to the precise temperature adjustments. Every second matters at this stage because even a small variation could either leave the chestnuts underprocessed or oversoftened, disrupting the delicate balance required for a luxury-grade cream. Large industrial steam chambers operate with remarkable accuracy, applying heat evenly so the chestnuts surrender their rigidity at exactly the right pace. While the machinery does most of the physical work, the human element is still deeply present. Technicians monitor the color changes, the moisture levels, and even the sound of the batches shifting inside the chambers. These sensory cues, mastered over years of experience, help guide subtle refinements to the process. It is this blend of human intuition and technological precision that allows the chestnuts to transition from a raw, solid state into something far more pliable and promising. Once softened, the chestnuts pass through mechanical peeling systems designed to remove their outer layer without damaging the newly tender flesh. Watching this stage feels almost like witnessing a fruit shed its natural armor to reveal its potential. The peeled chestnuts glide along stainless steel conveyors, their surfaces now smooth and warm, holding the first hints of the creamy texture they will eventually become. Workers conduct quick visual inspections as the chestnuts continue moving, ensuring that none with residual skin or imperfections proceed to the next phase. The aroma intensifies as the chestnuts enter the pre-milling zone, where gentle crushing begins. This step is not yet about achieving the final texture, but about preparing the fruit for deeper refinement. As the chestnuts break down, their natural oils begin to activate, releasing richer tones that hint at the flavor profile that will soon develop fully. Each moment brings the product closer to its transformation, revealing how much complexity hides behind the early steps of preparing a luxury gourmet ingredient. And now, with the chestnuts softened, peeled, and partially crushed, the stage is set for the more intricate techniques that will elevate them from mere softened fruit to a product with the unmistakable smoothness and prestige of premium chestnut cream, carrying us naturally into the next phase of this refined journey. As the chestnuts reach the refinement phase, the atmosphere inside the factory shifts once again, becoming almost serene, as if acknowledging the delicacy required from this point forward. Now that the fruit has been softened and partially broken down, the process moves into the realm of true craftsmanship, where industrial power meets almost artisanal precision. The crushed chestnuts enter a network of ultra-fine grinders equipped with blades engineered to produce incredibly smooth textures without overheating the mixture. Heat, after all, can alter flavor, and in gourmet production, every nuance matters. The goal is not simply to grind, but to refine in a way that preserves the chestnut's natural sweetness while unlocking a velvety consistency that defines premium creams. Inside these machines, the chestnut particles are slowly reduced until they reach a near silky state. This stage can take much longer than expected because the refinement is gradual, deliberately controlled to prevent the paste from becoming dense or losing its delicate balance of oils. Technicians monitor the viscosity through digital sensors and manual checks, dipping specialized tools into the mixture to analyze its flow and density. Small adjustments are made continuously, sometimes altering the pressure by just a fraction, sometimes extending the grinding time by a few minutes to achieve the perfect softness. What emerges from these refiners is not yet the final cream, but something close enough to reveal the distinctive smoothness associated with luxury production. This soft, lush paste then travels into secondary refinement systems where it undergoes microfiltering. Here, any remaining grain or uneven particle is removed. These filters operate with astonishing precision, capturing even microscopic imperfections that would be imperceptible to most consumers, but completely unacceptable in a product positioned for high-end gastronomy. The attention to detail at Yoles. This stage borders on obsessive, and it is exactly this commitment that distinguishes gourmet creams from ordinary processed foods. Every step reinforces the idea that luxury is built through patience, repetition, and uncompromising standards. As the refined paste warms slightly under controlled conditions, its aroma deepens, becoming richer and more inviting, hinting at the flavors that will fully develop in the later stages. What was once a rigid fruit is now a soft, fragrant, impeccably consistent base that carries all the potential of a premium culinary ingredient, and with the cream nearing its refined form, the next part of the journey reveals even more about the hidden craftsmanship behind these exclusive creations. Before we continue, tell me in the comments, Were you surprised by how meticulous this refinement stage really is? Your perspective helps enrich this exploration, so share your thoughts below as we move forward into the next layer of this transformation. As the refined chestnut paste moves forward, it enters one of the most decisive stages in any gourmet production line: quality control. This is the moment when every characteristic that defines a premium product is tested, measured, and evaluated with a level of rigor that might seem extreme from the outside. Yet in the world of luxury foods, these standards are not optional. They are the very foundation of what allows a product to command its value. The paste is first distributed into shallow testing trays where specialists inspect its color under calibrated lighting. Even slight variations in tone can signal inconsistencies in processing time or temperature, prompting immediate adjustments to keep the entire production aligned with the factory's high expectations. Beyond appearance, the texture undergoes a series of mechanical and sensory analyses. Sophisticated instruments evaluate viscosity, density, and particulate uniformity, ensuring that the cream meets the smoothness required for gourmet applications. Although technology guides much of this verification, the sensory panel remains indispensable. Trained tasters familiar with the subtleties of chestnut flavor profiles take small samples and evaluate them with the precision of sommeliers. They note the balance between natural sweetness and earthy undertones, checking if the oils have integrated correctly or if any bitterness has developed during processing. These evaluations help identify the slightest deviations, ensuring that every batch feels consistent, elegant, and aligned with the expectations of luxury consumers. Quality control also addresses the stability of the cream. Samples are placed in controlled environments to test how the product behaves under temperature variations, simulating transportation and storage conditions. Observing how the texture reacts over time provides valuable insights for upcoming adjustments, reinforcing the idea that gourmet products are not only about immediate enjoyment but also about maintaining excellence throughout their shelf life. Each of these tests plays a crucial role in safeguarding the integrity of the chestnut paste long before it reaches any packaging line. As the approved batches are cleared to continue, the cream moves through stainless steel pipelines with a visual sheen that reflects the craftsmanship behind its creation. Every decision taken so far shapes the product that will soon be elevated with additional elements or rare ingredients. And with the foundation perfectly established, the next phase opens the door to a more exclusive side of the process, where rarity and refinement come together to create something even more extraordinary. As the approved cream moves forward, the production line shifts into a phase that feels almost like entering a secret chamber within the factory. This is where rarity begins to take shape, where the ordinary base transforms into something far more exclusive. Not every batch undergoes this treatment. Only the finest productions, often destined for limited editions or high-end culinary clients, receive the addition of rare ingredients. These elements are selected with the same precision applied to the chestnuts themselves, but with an added layer of exclusivity. Some come from remote regions, harvested only in specific seasons, while others rely on techniques passed down through generations of artisan producers who have mastered their craft over decades. Inside a controlled blending room, specialists handle these rare components with extraordinary care. Whether it is a unique variety of chestnut with a naturally sweeter profile, an aromatic extract sourced from mountain-grown botanicals, or a premium sweetener used sparingly for its delicate impact on flavor, every ingredient enters the mixture with intentional purpose. This step is never rushed. The blending machines move slowly, allowing the flavors to integrate gradually and evenly. The goal is not to overpower the chestnut base, but to enhance its natural character, giving the final cream a depth that sets it apart in the market. The atmosphere in this room is distinctly aromatic, with subtle scents rising as the ingredients merge into the paste. Technicians observe the mixture closely, checking how the rare additions alter the texture and aroma. Even slight deviations can affect the delicate balance, requiring immediate micro-adjustments to maintain the harmony expected from gourmet formulations. Some of these rare ingredients influence the color as well, giving the cream a slightly richer hue that hints at its elevated status. Every shift, no matter how small, becomes a sign of the craftsmanship behind these premium creations. Once the integration phase progresses, the cream takes on a new personality. It becomes more layered, more expressive, and more aligned with the expectations of culinary professionals who seek unique and refined flavors. This transformation is subtle but unmistakable, creating a distinction that consumers may not fully understand but can easily perceive when tasting the final product. And as the blend settles into its refined form, the process quietly transitions toward the final stages of its evolution, where texture, aroma, and richness come together with even greater precision. As the enriched cream moves toward its final transformation, the factory atmosphere becomes almost contemplative. This is the stage where precision turns into artistry, where the smallest adjustments can elevate the product from premium to truly exceptional. The paste, now infused with its rare components, is guided into slow mixing vessels designed to perfect its structure. These mixers operate at carefully calculated speeds, preventing excess air from entering the cream while allowing its natural oils to distribute evenly. The result is a texture that begins to resemble the signature smoothness expected from high-value gourmet products. Inside these vessels, temperature control becomes even more crucial. Slight warming encourages the ingredients to meld harmoniously, while targeted cooling stabilizes the mixture without compromising flavor. Technicians monitor the process with the same focus a chocolatier might have when tempering fine chocolate. Their attention is fixed on consistency, sheen, and aroma, searching for the exact moment when the cream reaches its ideal balance. Every decision is timed with remarkable precision, showing how craftsmanship persists even within an industrial environment. As the mixture settles into its perfected state, finishing touches come into play. These touches are subtle but essential, shaping the cream's final identity. Some batches receive an additional round of micro-refining, not because they need it, but because the brand's standards demand an unmistakable silkiness that defines their reputation in the gourmet market. Other batches undergo controlled resting periods, allowing the flavors to deepen quietly as the cream sits undisturbed in temperature-calibrated tanks. During this rest, the aromatic compounds merge into a unified profile that will later be recognized instantly by those who value high-end gastronomy. Even at this stage, the cream is not considered complete. Specialists continue to evaluate it, checking its behavior as it cools, warms slightly, and settles again. These micro-tests reveal how the cream will perform in real culinary settings, whether spread on pastries, layered in desserts, or incorporated into premium sauces. This forward-thinking approach ensures that the final product delivers not only in taste and texture, but also in versatility, a crucial element for luxury food creators. And as this phase moves toward completion, the cream stands on the edge of becoming the polished masterpiece consumers expect, carrying with it every detail, every decision, and every layer of refinement applied so far. Before we move deeper into the next stage, tell me in the comments, which part of this transformation has surprised you the most so far? Your insights help shape the journey as we continue unfolding the next layers hidden inside this gourmet process. As the perfected cream reaches its final formulation, it is guided into the stage where presentation becomes just as important as flavor. In the gourmet industry, the visual impact of a product holds immense weight, and the packaging process is designed to honor the sophistication built throughout every phase. The cream flows through polished stainless steel channels into temperature-controlled holding tanks that stabilize its consistency before filling. This stabilization phase ensures that the paste maintains its smoothness as it enters the jars, eliminating air pockets and preserving the seamless texture crafted with such meticulous care. The filling room feels almost clinical in its precision. Machines calibrated to micron-level accuracy dispense exact portions into glass containers chosen not only for practicality, but also for aesthetic harmony. Unlike mass-market products, gourmet chestnut creams often use packages that highlight the premium nature of the content. Thick-walled jars, minimalist labels, textured lids, and subdued color palettes all work together to evoke the refined identity of the product. Each jar becomes a quiet expression of luxury, an object designed to be admired even before it is opened. Workers oversee this moment with heightened attention. They watch the flow rate, ensure that each jar receives the correct amount, and verify that the cream settles without imperfections. Any jar displaying even the slightest inconsistency is immediately removed. This level of detail reinforces the brand's commitment to excellence, a commitment that consumers subconsciously recognize when they hold the final product in their hands. Once filled, the jars travel to the sealing station, where specialized lids create an airtight environment that preserves freshness and protects the delicate balance achieved through the earlier stages of production. After sealing, the jars enter the labeling and finishing area, a space where craftsmanship and branding converge. Labels are applied with precision, aligning perfectly from jar to jar, ensuring visual uniformity that communicates trust and quality. Some batches receive additional touches, such as embossed seals or batch numbers handwritten by the quality team to emphasize exclusivity. These subtle cues elevate the perceived value of the cream, reinforcing the notion that this is not merely a food item, but a curated gourmet experience. As the jars move along the conveyor, their polished surfaces reflect the warm factory lights, hinting at the journey they have undergone. Each one represents countless decisions, detailed craftsmanship, and an unwavering pursuit of excellence. And once the finishing touches are complete, the product transitions into the next critical phase, where its protection and preservation become the focus before reaching the hands of discerning consumers. Once the jars are fully prepared, sealed, and visually perfected, the next stage shifts focus to preserving everything the production process has so carefully built. In the gourmet market, logistics is never simply about transport. It is an extension of the craftsmanship itself. Every movement, temperature shift, and handling condition has the potential to affect the cream's integrity. So, the factory adopts a meticulous approach that ensures the product remains as flawless on arrival as it was at the moment of sealing. The jars are transferred into climate-controlled storage rooms where the temperature is maintained with remarkable stability. This controlled environment prevents changes in texture or separation of natural oils, both of which could compromise the luxurious feel of the cream. From this point, specialized packaging teams prepare the jars for external shipment. Protective inserts cradle each container, keeping them from moving during transport. Unlike mass-produced food items that rely on simple boxing procedures, gourmet products require layered protection to maintain their premium condition. The materials used are selected not only for durability, but also for their ability to insulate against subtle temperature variations. The goal is always the same: to shield the cream from any external factor capable of diminishing its sensory qualities. Once secured, the jars move to the logistics coordination area, where the distribution plan is carefully mapped. Some batches are destined for luxury retailers, others for high-end restaurants, and a select few are shipped directly to customers who expect nothing less than perfection upon delivery. Each destination has its own requirements regarding timing, temperature, and transportation method. Refrigerated vehicles handle certain shipments, ensuring the cream remains stable even during long journeys. Shorter routes often rely on insulated containers designed for delicate products, maintaining freshness until the moment the jar reaches its final destination. Even after leaving the factory, monitoring continues through tracking systems that record temperature and transit conditions. These records allow the company to confirm that the cream has been handled with the same level of care outside the facility as within it. This attention to detail reinforces the brand's commitment to quality and helps ensure that the product arrives with its full texture, flavor, and aroma intact. Every step in this phase reflects an understanding that luxury is not merely created, it must be protected with unwavering precision. And as the jars travel toward their destinations perfectly secured and monitored, they carry with them the entire story of their creation, preparing the ground for the final aspect of this journey, where perception, value, and consumer experience converge to define what makes this gourmet cream truly exceptional. As these premium jars finally reach the hands of consumers, the story behind their value becomes fully apparent. The price attached to a gourmet chestnut cream is not simply a reflection of the ingredients, but of everything embedded in its creation. The meticulous selection of raw chestnuts, the delicate refining stages, the careful integration of rare elements, the elegant packaging choices, and the precision behind storage and transportation all shape the perception of luxury. When someone opens a jar like this, they are not just tasting a product. They are experiencing the result of craftsmanship layered into every minute of the manufacturing process. The smooth texture, enriched aroma, and balanced flavor are the culmination of countless decisions made by specialists who understand that true gourmet value is built long before the cream ever touches a spoon. In the world of high-end foods, value also emerges from consistency. Consumers expect each jar to feel identical to the last, carrying the same depth of flavor and refined elegance. This reliability reinforces the emotional connection people form with luxury products, cultivating trust and elevating the experience from simple indulgence to something more personal. The knowledge that every detail has been curated with intention adds a sense of exclusivity that influences how the product is perceived and appreciated. Even the slight resistance of the lid when opened becomes part of the sensory ritual, preparing the mind to expect richness and refinement. This perception is strengthened by the heritage and identity of the brand itself. Gourmet producers often rely on storytelling, tradition, and authenticity to communicate the craftsmanship behind their creations. Consumers respond to these elements not because they are marketed loudly, but because they feel woven naturally into the product's character. The value becomes less about cost and more about meaning. The cream embodies time, precision, scarcity, and expertise, elements that together elevate its presence far beyond the sum of its parts. And now that you have followed the entire journey from the raw chestnut to the moment it becomes a premium gourmet cream, you can see how every layer contributes to that final elevated perception. If you stayed with me until this point, leave a comment saying, "This message was for me, so I know you are here with me until the end." And if this deep dive into the world of gourmet production added value to your day, consider subscribing to the channel so you do not miss the next explorations we will take together. A like also helps strengthen this space and keeps our conversations moving forward in a meaningful way. There's another video right here on the side that continues this universe of premium food craftsmanship. Click and keep going with me as we explore what makes these creations so remarkable.